Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Ageless Blessings with Brenda Pierce. You've come to the right place for candid conversations, inspiration, and empowerment. Join me with my very special guests as we bring you media that matters on the Divas That Care network. For more about the Divas and to listen to various podcasts, visit www.divasthatcare.com. Now let's get on with the show.
And welcome to this edition of Ageless Blessings Radio. My name is Brenda Pierce. I am the Empowered Nurse. I'm here to triage body, mind, and spirit with my very, very special guests. And today is no less spectacular is my friend Dr. Sue Denk. And we're going to get back to more about Dr. Sue right after this message. So hang tight.
Do you experience frequent headaches, sleep disturbances, skin prickling and burning, rashes, transient muscle and joint pain? Do you sit in front of your computer or under fluorescent lights for long periods of time? You could be experiencing electromagnetic sensitivity. Reduce the ravages with PEMF therapy. Just 8 minutes twice daily will calm your body down to healthy resonance and regeneration. Reduce stress and promote well-being. Find out more today by visiting www.pemfconsultant.com. That's www.pemfconsultant.com today.
And welcome back after that message. PEMF therapy is definitely something that should be in every heart, in every home, and every workplace, because the ravages of EMFs in this world are really taking a toll on our bodies, minds, and spirits. So right now I want to tell you a little bit about our special guest, Dr. Sue Denk. She is the transformational psychologist, and she hails from Chicago. She is a very, very, very special friend of mine and deserves to be on the Divas That Care network, because she really has, from the bottom up and the top down, changed her life so much over her course of her life, getting her PsyD degree as a doctor of psychology at the age of 57. My goodness, that takes guts and courage. When most people are winding down in her life, she's just really winding up in her life, upscaling and knowing that your life is truly what you transform it to be. And so with no further ado, I am welcoming my dear friend, Dr. Sue. Hi, Sue. Welcome.
Brenda, so good to be here and so good to hear your voice.
Awesome. Thanks for making the time available to be with us today. It's been long overdue to have you on this conversation, but here we are, and I want to thank you so much for being my friend. That is the very first thing I want to say. You have been a real stellar friend from the stars down.
Oh, my goodness, the honor is mine. The honor is mine. It's just a mutual that when we met, we knew there was no doubt about it, that we were only befriending one another in this time, place, and moment.
Yeah. It was amazing. We were, for anybody who doesn't know, Dr. Sue and I were in our first mutual book project, The Inner Circle Chronicles, and we were all getting together. All of us collaborators were getting together to go to Nantucket, spend a weekend together. And lo and behold, we were in the back of what we termed the Goddess Mobile, because it was filled with all these amazing women who never met each other, and yet we all felt like lifelong friends. But Sue and I were in the very back seat, and we were holding suitcases. We were separated by a stack of cases. We were really jammed in there, weren't we, Sue?
We were, and the truth is it was actually self-preservation, because we both have long legs, and that was the seat that had the most leg room.
Yes, that's right. The back of the bus is always a good place to be too, and you feel every bump. And it was a lot of fun though. That whole weekend was really terrific. But the greatest gift for me was meeting you, refriending you, and then we found that we had so much in common. Even though we're thousands of miles apart, we pick up the phone and it's like we never skipped a beat.
Absolutely. And neither of us, we both know when the other one needs to talk, too. It's really interesting. what we need to talk about, and just something just told me call you. Hello,
Yeah. Yeah. And in this day where, technology is so prevalent, to pick up the phone and just have an old-fashioned phone call and chat and, we can hear ourselves rattling around, so we're doing things in the background and this sort of thing. But lifelong friends are something that transcends time and space for sure. And, and I wish everyone had a friend like you. I really do.
Brenda, that's, I think, part of what's missing today is the picking up the phone. So many people are content to send a text or something like that, and I've even taken to when people leave people texts, I will use the voice option, and I will actually record that because I know that the message gets imprinted with your energy so much better that way.
Yeah. Yes, it does, and that's the whole thing. It's one thing. The vibrational frequency of sound is something that's missing in terms of texting and voice messaging. Well, voice messaging is also good, but I mean it's very limited. But yes, you can have a really beautiful experience by that voice texture and frequency and sound, and it doesn't isolate you. That's for sure.
True. And I'd like to say something, but people don't know about you, Brenda, is Brenda is my friend that pushes me off the ledge. And I say that with a lot of love in my heart. She will call me and she will say, well, we have this project, let's work on this. And I'll say, I never did that. And she goes, yeah, I know, let's go. Push. And I'm pushed off the side of the edge. There was one moment when Brenda and I have to share this because this is so priceless. Brenda and I were doing a 1 hour. We were doing a Zoom type of a thing or a live, Facebook Live about the psychology of aging. And we thought, okay, she would ask the questions, I would answer them. And we had this really, really planned. It's like, okay, I've never done anything like this before, but okay, I trust you, my friend. Well, lo and behold, about 3 minutes into the program, you have to remember this is a 1 hour program. About 3 minutes into the program, Brenda lost audio.
Yeah.
So I have this person we're live. She's sending me messages via Facebook Messenger. I'm trying to continue talking and doing what I found out that, yes, I can do an hour-long monologue. And I'm trying to read the messages, answer questions, and just kind of like really, really calmly transition into the next question. The next thing, when you have conversation between the two of you, change is easy. But when you're doing a monologue, you have to find ways to be smooth. So, Brenda, you are my leap in the net will appear friend. And I thank you for that.
Oh, you're so very welcome. And now I'm pushing you into podcasting. So there you go. If you can do that 1 hour monologue and handle the technology of flipping back and forth, you can do anything.
I'm telling you. And the funny part about it is the podcasting. What did I say? There's a huge part of me that's afraid and doesn't want to do it. But there's more of a part of me that says that this needs to be done, and so it is. You're right. It's a way to get messages out to people, and it's no different than when I talk to people every hour of my life. Yeah. It's no different.
Yeah, exactly. And once you go podcasting, you are international, baby. So no pressure.
Then they'll know who the transformational psychologist is, right?
Yes, exactly. You will be out there. And yes, please tell us about this transformational psychologist that you are and what that has meant to you to actually call yourself that, because that in itself is a big move.
That is a huge move. It took me a lot of years, as you know. I got my doctorate when I was 57. And I was in private practice. I was building a private practice, working a job, building a practice, moving forward, doing some blogs, stuff like that, writing the books. And always on the bottom of my letterhead, I had the statement, empowering people to reach goals they never knew they had. And every time I would use that letterhead, I would look at that. But in my mind, I played small. Who are you? I'm a clinical psychologist. Who are you? I'm a board-certified life coach. All the who are yous, you know? But one day I realized I had gone through so much. When I was 60 years old, I made a huge decision to leave a marriage actually, that I had been in for 23 years. That was a big, big change for me. I mean, I thought that at this stage of my life, I would have it easy financially. I would just be kind of like on Easy Street. I'd do my practice when I wanted to, you know. Never really realizing until I made that bold switch that I couldn't breathe in the relationship anymore.
Yeah.
And I wasn't living. I wasn't thriving. And I thrive. I thrive wherever I'm at. So I knew it was time to make that change, to make that transformation, right? There's that word again.
Yep.
So just like the butterfly and the chrysalis, I knew it was time to break out. That chrysalis was getting way too tight. So I broke out. At the age of 65, I did something really what some people might consider to be kind of crazy. I bought a house, took out a mortgage.
Yeah.
What the heck? You know, who does that? Who does that? Me. That would be me. I would do that. I've had people always tell me that I'm a little bit outrageous, but I don't know that it's outrageous. I know that it's bold and daring, and I do it. I leap, and the net will appear. When I wrote my essay to get into my doctoral program, I remember the first line, the first opening. Some people dream and dream. Other people dream and wish. I dream and do. And
that's powerful.
It's very powerful. It's very powerful. And there were many times when I was discouraged, and I would just say, remember, I dream and do. And doing means getting out of my comfort zone. So I claimed the moniker of a clinical psychologist for how many years, and then I realized that you reach a point in your life where you need to rebrand yourself. And I thought about, what am I going to do? How am I going to rebrand myself? And I'm so into integrative wellness. I mean, I have a PEMF mat and I love it. Okay, I am all natural with my foods. I believe in transforming your life to be the best that you can. So one day I just got the idea that, okay, I'm going to brand myself as a transformational psychologist. And then I heard a big booming voice in my mind that said, no, you are the transformation psychologist. And that's how that moniker was born.
Awesome. Yes, you inspire, because some people give in to the ageism, like I am 65 and I'm retiring and backpedaling, like what do I do with the rest of my life? Whereas, you know, we are really ageless. We are really ageless in the fact that we can be, do, and have anything that we want at any age and any stage. It's just a matter of claiming it, making it so, doing something about that. You know, it's one thing to dream, because you can dream your life away, but it's another thing to do it, and you have, and you inspire me every single day, Sue.
Oh, geez. That's such an honor to hear that. You know, Brenda, for many years, you know, you see timelines like in history books. They go on and on. They go from left to right. Well, many years ago, I turned my timeline straight up and down, with birth at the bottom. And I did increments of 5 years, 200, because we know we can live to be 100 very easily. And if you take that and you look at 65, we'll use 65 because that's such a transformational age for so many people. If you look at 65, you have 35 more potential years. What are you going to do with that?
Yeah. That's a huge chunk of life.
It is. when you put it in front of people, and what I will do when I coach people is we go through like, okay, from ages 1 to 5, you were learning so much in your life. From ages 6 to 12, those magic years where you can do anything and be anything. What were you doing? What were you wishing? What were you playing? What were you going to be when you grow up? There's such a telling time in our lives if we revisit it. And then if we take each segment of our life and we plot it on this timeline, this growth line, and we see where we've been and all we've accomplished. Maybe there was a period where we raised children. Maybe we went to school. Maybe we had this job or that job. If you look at it and you really visualize it and look and see it there, you're going to see 35 years. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
If I did from 25 to 60, that's 35 years. If I did everything, if I look at everything I did between those 35 years or 30 years, and I put them up above, look at how much time I can get done. Look at what I can get done in those years.
Yeah.
And this is something you and I have never discussed. It's interesting. We've never discussed this in all of our talks.
No, we haven't. You're hearing this first, people.
I don't know how we missed it, but, it's powerful. I'm going to encourage everybody to transform their lives. Don't wait for somebody to do it for them.
Yeah.
You're in charge. Why would you give other people the key to your life? You hold a key, a special key that we're given at birth. And if you open that hand and look at that key, you're going to realize it doesn't fit every door you try. But the caveat there is that it only fits your doors. If it doesn't fit the door that you're trying it in, that's not your door to open.
Mm-hmm. That's very wise. Very wise. Yeah. So this is the whole thing, Sue, is the fact that it is our life. It is our choice. It's not, so many of us, when you think about your life, how many times did you give away your personal power? And it's incredible. But when you make the decision to claim it back and really live from your magnificence, your special brand of you, the world changes. And I noticed that myself when I made the decision to leave a marriage as well. It's not easy to make that decision, but when you're drowning and you're almost like dying every day in a relationship that's broken and can't be mended, you are shortening your lifespan. You're giving that power away. When you reclaim it, it's like, oh my gosh, it's like being reborn. That's the only way I can explain it. And it's just magical.
It is magical. Years ago I worked in a crisis center, a crisis unit for chronically mentally ill people. And these were people who were having a hard time in life, but we wanted to keep them. We wanted to keep them and stabilize them to keep them out of the hospital. So it's kind of a step down, we would help them learn the coping skills and everything. Every now and then, we would have a woman come in that had come out of a violent marriage. She had been a victim of domestic violence. And when you say you reclaim your life, you're saying so much, because so often some of the therapists there would want to label this person, this woman who is happy, who is giddy, who is just, oh my God, I can breathe, as being bipolar and manic. Okay? Wow. And I would constantly go to bat and say, if you have never been suppressed in your life, you don't know what it feels like to put your head outside and to take a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
So to empower these women, by giving them that diagnosis, they were disempowered. oh, see, that's right, there's something wrong with me. No. Oh, my goodness, no. I mean, I would just talk to them and say, there's nothing wrong with you.
Exactly.
You just can breathe again, and you're happy. This is what happiness feels like.
Yeah.
You're safe.
Like being rescued or
Mm-hmm.
found.
Mm-hmm. So little by little, as you and I talk, we help people learn how to step into their power. And not only step into their power, to feel their power. I have certain little ways that I do that when I work with people in person, and sometimes when I work with them online too, okay? And where I will have them actually step into their power. And as they step into their power, I will encourage them to claim it. Like they're 2 years old. Say, mine. This is my power. I claim it. It's nobody else's.
Well, I'm sure that there's people out there listening to this podcast today and even in the replay who will really jive with what you're saying, because nothing like change to give you a new jump start in life. But there's some things, Sue, too, that happen to us that are not planned or not wished for or not even, in our purview of life is not something that we go into life thinking we're ever going to experience, and that is loss of a child. And you and I
Absolutely.
both experienced that. And
we did.
And so, yeah. So, how do you transform people who have lost a child?
With love, with comfort, with helping them understand that not everybody is chosen to send an angel to heaven, and to know that they're never gone from us. And I encourage them, Brenda, as you know, to find a way to honor that child. And by honoring that child, you and I both know that means to say, you know what, yes, this child lived. This child was here. Even if that child never walked a step on earth. And there's so many different kinds of child loss. And everybody grieves so differently. And I guess maybe the main message I will give everybody that's lost a child is it's okay to grieve. Give yourself permission to grieve. Give yourself permission to feel it. And when it's time to move forward and take one step, you will take one step. When the event first happens, you grieve 24 hours a day, don't you, as you well know?
Yeah.
There's not a moment that goes by that you're not hurting. And we turn over every seed, every grain of sand on the beach to look and see what we could have done to avoid that. But I think we all need to realize that that's not our key, that's not our door to have open for the child. The child had their own keys.
Yeah.
And that was the door they had to open.
That's right.
And so I tell parents, honor your child. Don't act as if they're not here or haven't been here. But don't get stuck. It's a fine line. You balance a fine line. And if you search, you'll find something to do that can make that child's life purposeful. Like you and I have a book series coming out, The Secret Child. And I'm leaving it to you, Brenda, to explain why we named it The Secret Child book series.
Absolutely, you have just nailed the nail on the head. In terms of everybody grieves in their own way, and yes, it was the child's path, their key in this world, and it fit them. It doesn't fit us, but it fits them. And we just don't know when we bring these precious beings into the world, or carry them, because so many of these precious souls leave before they even take their first breath. And as a mom, it's a different experience than a dad has, because we carried them, we felt them, we really knew them in a different way. And child loss can go all the way up to adults, because how many seniors have I worked with who gave up their life, basically died the day their adult child died as well, and spent the next 20, 30 years, waiting for that time when they'll be reunited, and give up and sacrifice and give into dis-ease and disease. And marriages do have a way of struggling as well, as one parent grieves differently than the other, or one parent doesn't show the emotions that the other one does, and then the blame-shame game happens. But the thing is, though, we, in our first early conversations, when we found out we had both been parents of loss, we really bonded. That's really kind of the cement between our friendship that goes so much deeper than the superficial, hi, how are you? And this is why our friendship has blossomed to the depth and extent that it has, Sue, is because a parent who loses a child is changed. They are completely changed from inside out and never, ever, ever the same. And no one ever gets over the loss of a child, even if somebody says, "Oh, you'll have more children. This'll pass and you'll move on." No, you never do. It's always there. Even if you have more children, you find the extent of love in your heart extends beyond the loss, but includes the loss as well. That child is as real as the children that are in your hands and arms. So the secret child. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. When you suffer that loss, you become a card-carrying member to a club you never wanted to belong to.
Yeah, that's so true. So true. So for what we're doing is, for any, the Secret Child series was going to start out as a book, and we were going to write the entire book. And over the course of the last 6 years, we've been talking about this and talking about it and talking about it. Then earlier this year, I said, "Sue, we're either going to do this or we're never going to do it." And so it took us a little while. I was a little bit more into doing the nuts and bolts and the background stuff. And Sue has, from her experience in the clinical setting, so much wisdom. And as you've just heard her talk, you can, every sentence Sue says, there's a nugget of wisdom. So when we decided to put this book series together, then we decided to give our not only our children a voice, but the children a voice of those who join us in writing and contributing a story of their child, giving them voice and acknowledging the fact that they were here, they are here, they're still with us. But the other piece is the journey that the parent goes through, a little bit of that, because it takes courage to step forward and to share your story. But when you realize the power of your child's journey in your life has changed and transformed you into something better than you would have been without the experience. I really think our children make us better. We know we learn so much from our living children, but our children who have passed really, really change us in a way that makes us want to be better too, because, eventually we want to be with them. So the Secret Child series has been born, and we invite people to join us. The link is here in the show description, but go to www.secretchildbookseries.com. And we have a website together. We have projects. We have 2 projects, Life After Loss and Tiny Hearts. So we are looking forward to having you join us in the book series. If this is something that resonates with you, connect with us. And Sue, our half hour's done already. It's amazing.
I know.
I want to thank you for being with me, and I look forward to your podcast as well.
Thank you very much for having me on. It's an honor to share with you.
Excellent. So until we meet again, remember, you are loved and you are loved. You are blessed and you are a blessing. Bye for now.
You have been listening to Ageless Blessings with Brenda Pierce. The views and opinions have been those of the participants and are not to be taken as medical advice. For more Ageless Blessings, visit www.facebook.com/agelessblessings. Until next time, have a wonderful body, mind, and spirit-filled week.